Hello, I'm Jen Uphoff-Gray, Artistic Director of Forward Theater, and I want to welcome you to our 2020 Wisconsin Wrights New Play Festival. We've been committed to the Wisconsin Wrights program for many years. When COVID-19 caused theaters to shut down in mid-March, one of the first decisions we made as a company was to fully commit to doing Wisconsin Wrights this year by whatever methods would be available to us. Because we do this program for two main reasons: to support Wisconsin playwrights in the development of new work, and to employ a whole bunch of local actors, directors, dramaturgs, and stage managers. And both these goals are more important than ever in this time of massive hardship for artists. Rehearsing and sharing these play readings online may be far from ideal, but it has still provided these artists with the opportunity to work on these texts, and it's kept them, and you, our audience, safe. Even under normal conditions, producing Wisconsin Wrights is a considerable financial investment for us. The funds we would typically take in ticket sales would make up a portion of the expenses that we incur to employ all these artists. And we've chosen to make these readings available to all online for free. But if you're able, I hope you'll consider making a modest contribution to help us defray our costs. A donation link can be found in the comments section here on YouTube and on Forward's website. Thank you. I'm so proud of how hard our artists and staff have worked to make this festival happen. Each play only had 9 hours of rehearsals, and in that time, each team had to work on script and character development and adapt to working in this new format. And what you're about to see is a work in progress, and one that will benefit from your attention and your feedback. So at the end of the reading, please stay with us for a live talkback with the playwright and the rest of their team. It's a huge part of the development process, and your participation will be especially valued since we can't be together in person. I hope we'll see you then. And finally, I want to thank our Wisconsin Wrights sponsors, First Business Bank, Promega, Steve Brown Apartments, and the Madison Community Foundation. We are so grateful for their support of this program. So now, settle in, make yourself comfortable, and enjoy tonight's reading of Sapiens by Eric Schabla, directed by Jake Penner.
Setting: a closed wing at a zoo. Time: present. Separated by glass from the forestage is a large enclosure, typical of any mammal exhibit at a regional zoo. Downstage of the enclosure is the main playing space. The window that separates the two extends from the ceiling and stops at the floor of the enclosure, which is a couple feet higher than the floor of the main playing space. Inside the enclosure are various structures designed for monkeys, including a few large branches, rope toys, etc., nothing that can't be rearranged. Droppings are also visible. The enclosure can be repurposed to house a variety of different animals. There's a single door in the enclosure, upstage center, painted the same color as the interior. Folding chairs are set on the main playing space in a horseshoe, along with a table and some cheap coffee. Stage right is an exit door that also leads to a hall connecting the enclosure to the main playing space. Stage left is a heavy wooden door leading to Dr. Hearst's office. Lights up on Topher and Hugo, stacking a few 10-gallon buckets in the monkey enclosure. Their dialogue, as with all dialogue and action that takes place in the enclosure, is either completely inaudible or very muffled. After they finish stacking, they exit through the upstage door and re-enter a moment later through the stage right door.
Is it bigger than a toaster oven?
Yes, definitely. 9 left.
Does it have legs?
Nope. 8.
Is it predatory?
Oh, I'm going to say yes. 7.
Oh, come on. That's so unfair. You always do that.
Do what?
Fucking.
Equivocate?
Yes.
You're right. I totally do. Ha! Redo. 8 left.
Can it live in the ocean?
Yes. 7.
Okay. Living thing, somehow not an animal or a plant or anything geological bigger than a toaster oven, no legs, maybe predatory, can live in the ocean. Does it have a long lifespan?
Relative to what?
Shit, valid. Can it live to be 20 or older?
Yes. 6.
Can it live on land?
Oh, yes, it can.
Oh, damn, you slime minx.
5.
Is it a tortoise? God damn it, legs.
Ha! Nope. 4.
No legs, no legs. Oh my God, is it a tsunami?
A swing and a miss. 3.
Ah, Am I getting warmer at least?
You are and you aren't, too.
What? That doesn't count.
Yes, it does. You know the rules.
Ah, fuck you. Is it one of those really obscure parasites that only you would know about?
It is not, and I resent the implication. Colder. One left.
Damn it. Fine. I give up.
Time.
I think it's like a quarter after.
No, Hugo. Time.
Time?
Time. That's what I was thinking of. Pretty good, right?
I didn't realize this was Lord of the Goddamn Rings.
What? How is
That's
that?
straight out of The Hobbit.
Honestly, I thought you'd get it in a half dozen guesses.
You always do these weird conceptual ones.
How is that conceptual? It's not like I picked early American history or like Cubism or something.
Excuse me.
Who are? You can't. This. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Hugo?
Dude, seriously? You need to work on this. The people thing. Miss, this is a private area. You really can't be back here.
Oh, no,
Trust me, I'm doing you a favor.
I'm looking for Dr. Hearst.
Are you the new PhD?
Oh my God. You must be, sorry. He'll be here in a few minutes. Have a seat.
Would you like some coffee?
Oh, sure. Thanks. Aviarist?
What?
Are you the aviarist?
The aviarist? Oh, yep. Yes. So the doc told you about me, huh?
Not that I remember. But your waiters are covered in crane feces and you're wearing a falconer's glove.
The science of deduction.
Damn it.
Morning, Shae.
Hail to her imperial majesty.
It's off, Hugo.
Shae.
I broke my 9-day streak. Duolingo is a fucking racket.
Shae.
What? Who are you? She another look. I sent an email about this to all the parents. They're penguins. You signed the waiver on the first day of camp. You're unpredictable and territorial as shit.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm Alex. It's my first day.
Alex, you're the shit. Excuse me, doctor. I apologize. I am so sorry. Shae Holcomb.
That's all right. You don't have to. I'm not a doctor yet, actually, so.
I thought Hearst said we were getting another doctor.
Research specialist PhD candidate.
Oh, right. Well, great. Welcome. Hello. About time we had another,
Another what?
another woman. That's high achieving and all.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So, what do you do here?
Me, I'm just a little keeper, but I'm looking to move up. I need a room at the top.
Is this primate unit always empty?
Nah, Dr. Hearst uses it for projects once in a while.
Private observation and research. He's a brilliant scientist.
That's one way to put it.
So the public isn't allowed in this wing?
Not unless they want a lecture from Hearst on scientific privilege and intellectual property.
An old lady got confused and tried to come back here once.
He told her he was doing aggressive experiments on geriatric primates.
Yikes.
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Of course not, but he can talk anyone into anything.
Or out of anything. I swear, if I didn't know better, I'd say the guy was a lawyer, or an anthropologist, or a psychiatrist, or an English teacher.
The man is a bottomless well.
Wow. I've only talked to him on the phone, but his publications are really impressive.
Stephen and Roy aren't here yet, but they work with him all the time. They say he used to just sit and read Tolstoy to this troop of baboons for hours at a time. Maybe it was Dostoevsky?
He's got a screw loose.
Everybody says that. Why does everyone say that? He's just deeply passionate.
Is that why he never lets anyone in there? That's his office. Or so we think.
He isn't the only one around here who needs solitude.
Sometimes he'll just pop out of there, like at random, when you never saw him go in the first place. He could be listening. right now.
He is not listening to us, Hugo.
Yeah, cool it, Orwell. Don't mind him, Doctor. He's just paranoid that Hearst is going to catch him playing Gardenscapes.
You don't have to call me that. I'm not a doctor.
Hugo thinks the zoo is basically one big panopticon.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Good morning, Harriet.
Oh my God, are you the new girl? God, listen to me, new hire.
Harriet, this is Alex.
It is such a pleasure to meet you, Doctor. We've all heard so many great things.
Oh, that's really kind of you, but I don't have my PhD yet, so you don't actually have to call me a doctor. None of you have to call me a doctor.
Right, of course. My mistake, our mistake. So what should we call you? Or how would you prefer to be addressed?
Alex is fine.
Alex, what a beautiful name. Is that short for Alexandra? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to presume. You could just be called Alex. I mean, I didn't mean to just like inadvertently gender you.
That's okay. It is short for Alexandra.
Cool, great. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Alex. Have you shown her around yet? Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I just totally assumed your pronouns.
Oh, no, that's
Has
okay.
no one even asked you your preference yet? Come on, guys. Get it together.
Oh, she, her, hers, I guess.
Nice, me too. Not that it wouldn't be nice if you felt more comfortable with other pronouns.
Dear God, somebody please stop her.
Excuse me for showing like the bare minimum of sensitivity.
Roy and Stephen enter unnoticed through the upstage door inside the enclosure. During the following exchange, Roy inspects the various monkey toys and writes notes on a pad. Stephen puts on a pair of elbow-length rubber gloves and sifts through a pile of monkey feces with a small instrument.
This is supposed to be a safe and inclusive space.
Please, I didn't mean
I just think
to-
it's important as that we become more socially aware, we like apply that progress to the workplace. That's all. Is something funny, Topher?
Your idealism just makes me genuinely giddy.
Screw you.
What? No, I
I'm
was
trying
being
to make our
serious.
new colleague feel welcome.
Whoa!
And you're over here
Why are
sniffing
you
at me. I'm
jumping
sorry,
down my
Alex.
throat? Why does everyone always think I'm being insincere?
Because you're a white guy in his early 30s. Back me up, Shae.
Switzerland.
I apologize, Alex. All I'm saying is just because some of us work with primates doesn't mean we all have to behave like them, Hugo.
Did you just compare me to a monkey?
No, don't play that game.
Game? What you say matters, Harriet.
Come on, I didn't mean that.
Hey, look who's backpedaling. That was a nasty, violent thing to say.
Come on, are you serious? Hugo, I didn't mean it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's embarrassing. My privilege is definitely showing.
Jesus Christ. It's too easy. White people are my favorite.
He loves the smell of liberal guilt in the morning.
You got me. Well, at least we can all laugh about it.
Stephen and Roy pretend to fling poop at each other.
So, Alex, did you apply for a specific position here?
Oh, I'll mostly be working on my thesis, actually.
What's it about?
Well, so far, it's about 4 paragraphs. I don't want to bore anyone.
Are you kidding? I mean, I'd love to hear about it.
Well, the thrust of it will explore the intersection of evolution and taxonomy in the context of post-structuralism. That's the Reader's Digest version of it anyway.
Wow.
Fascinating. That's fascinating.
Ellen.
What exactly does that mean?
Good question. Seems like the more of it I write, the less I have any. But basically, I think our compulsion to anatomize the entirety of the animal kingdom might have as much to do with neutralizing an existential threat as it does with the revelation of larger natural truths.
Are you one of these PETA anti-captivity people trying to change the system from the inside?
Hugo?
It's okay. I'm going to have to defend this at some point. Not in principle, no. But I do think we feel unconsciously threatened by the freedom that animals experience. Think about it. You're a grizzly bear or an octopus. You've got limited self-awareness, few, if any, moral concerns, and then there's the big one. No latent, suffocating fear of death.
Roy bends Stephen over, and the two imitate sex.
And I wonder if we try to mitigate that threat by knowing and categorizing. Well, you name it, maybe it can't hurt you. Does that make any sense?
Holy shit, we got a live one, Toph.
Wow.
Good idea.
Do you know Foucault?
He's that new ostrich, right?
Yes, I do, actually. A French philosopher.
Wrights. Yep.
He's been a big influence on my work. Sorry, I'm just babbling now.
Not at all. I'd love to hear more.
So what animals in particular are you studying?
Rare tigers, leopards, and jaguars. Big cats in general.
You came to the right place. You probably already know, but this was the first North American zoo to breed snow leopards in captivity.
Hearst was actually instrumental.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Get it, Roy?
Alex, I'm so sorry.
Go.
You should never say this.
Well, at least it looks consensual.
Millions of years of evolutionary mutation, the birth of great civilizations, and ages of exponential development have led us to this enlightened plateau in the progress of the species.
I told you he was watching.
To look at them, you might think, what use could possibly be made of two such puerile nincompoops? The question is, in fact, the burden of all creatures of a higher order. What role might the subservient play in the great drama of the exceptional?
Boom. Roasted.
You know there was an intercom in there?
Dr. Hearst enters from the stage left door.
A pliable will is a self-rewarding virtue.
Morning, Dr. Hearst.
Are we all met?
Looks that way. This is Alex.
Oh, finally, we meet face to face. It's a pleasure, Miss Harding. Please excuse the theatrics. Sometimes public humiliation is the path of least resistance with those two.
You can call me Alex. It's great to finally meet you, Doctor.
Take seats. And now that our simian ancestors have joined us, we can begin the introductions.
Hello. Hi.
What a day, what a day. It brings me great pleasure to introduce the newest member of our team, Miss Alexandra Harding. Before we discuss her very exciting work, I'd like to please introduce yourselves one at a time and state your area of expertise.
Doctor, pronouns.
Thank you, Harriet. Yes, by all means, list your preferred pronouns. Hugo.
Hi, I'm Hugo, the Birdman, aviarist, chief aviarist, he, him, his.
Shae Holcomb, fish and marine mammals. I spend most of my time with penguins.
She has a gift.
That's code for she got the job no one else wanted. She, her, hers.
Harriet Claire Zunak, she, her, hers, dairy and livestock.
She also manages our very robust petting zoo.
Ironic for someone who thinks we should all be drinking milk from organic, cruelty-free Montessori cows.
Yes, Hugo, I happen to have a strong ethical objection to the dairy industry. The cow ought to be befriended and studied, not exploited.
Powerful stuff.
Hi, Topher, House of Reps. Oh, no, sorry, reptile and amphibian house.
We have invertebrates in both.
Normally, we endeavor to keep politics out of the workplace, but I allow the occasional topical pun.
Oh, and I actually respond to all pronouns.
Oh. Real?
Really, Topher? I mean, really?
Yes, Harriet, really. Is that quite all right with you?
Sorry, I guess I've just never ever heard anyone refer to you as anything other than he, him.
So what, you get to decide how everyone refers to me?
Not necessarily. It just seems odd.
Why are you getting on this case? Isn't this basically the same thing as you pretending to be bisexual?
I am bisexual, Hugo.
Remind me, who was the last girl you slept with?
You don't have to sleep with. Oh, how are you still this insensitive about sexual
Well, go ahead, swipe that LGBT card, girl.
I am a proud member of the LGBTQIAAP community.
Can we move on?
I
please?
think that would be best. Stephen?
Hi, I'm Stephen. I don't care about pronouns, but I prefer Stephen, not Steve. Steve sounds like I drive 18-wheelers. I'm a primate guy.
You've made us all acutely aware of that.
Roy. You can call me Roy. Do I really have to say my pronouns?
Please.
He, him, his, I guess.
These gentlemen have been working with me for several years now. Loyalty is perhaps their greatest virtue.
Roy worked with Goodall before he started here.
Wow. I'd like to hear more about that.
Oh, it was the best time of my life.
I suppose that just leaves you.
Hello. I'm Alexandra Harding. You can call me Alex. She, her, hers. And I'm here to complete my doctorate.
Ms. Harding will be working directly under me.
But I'll be spending most of my time with the big cats.
Why cats specifically, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, apex predator taxonomies might be the most revealing because their position in the natural hierarchy most closely resembles our own.
Does this mean we have to, report to Alex?
Alexandra is in pursuit of a terminal degree, a road some of you might consider taking. You will treat her with appropriate deference.
Please, deference really isn't necessary.
Over the next few weeks, we'll be housing a variety of research cats from our sister institutions. Feed shifts will remain the same, but to accommodate our guests, we'll need all hands on deck.
What about our tour schedules?
Doctor, I don't do well with predatory mammals.
Not to fear, Topher. In time, you'll realize you can master anything that eats. You will all, of course, receive the appropriate training. These are very high-value animals. We'll need to be at our absolute best.
Any cats in particular?
Everyone will receive a full list soon, but all 5 of genus Panthera will be rotating through. Our star player will be an adult male Bengal tiger.
Really?
Excellent.
This is all on a volunteer basis, by the way.
But your help is highly encouraged.
I'm sure you're all very busy.
I'm at your disposal, Alex.
Me too.
Yeah, cool, whatever.
Oh, one other thing. How could I forget? We operate by a single principle here, Ms. Harding. What do we say?
Whatever
exists without my knowledge
exists
without my
my consent.
Blackout. Lights up on Hugo, Topher, Shae, and Harriet overhauling the enclosure in preparation for the cats. There's now a whiteboard downstage with some taxonomic diagrams and scientific names written on it. Panthera pardus, Acinonyx jubatus, etc. Alex sits working at a small desk surrounded by boxes of books and papers. After a beat, Hearst enters.
Settle thy studies, Faustus.
Sorry?
Oh, Faustus, lay that damned book aside and gaze not on it, lest it tempt thy soul.
Can I help you with something?
I'm sorry, just a lame joke.
I'll be honest, I don't think I ever made it all the way through that one.
The intrepid scholar who trades his soul to the devil for forbidden knowledge.
That's me.
I could never quite reconcile the 2 major versions. Goethe's bored me to tears, but Marlowe's was electric, violent and sexy and transgressive.
We all work on the shoulders of giants.
Not all of us. You have the misfortune of being stuck with me, a pedantic old fool. When will you begin observations?
We can start as soon as the cats get here. They should be done by tomorrow. Your team has been so helpful.
Your team, you mean? It's good for them to learn from someone with real ambition.
I'm just eager to get to work.
Me too. It's thrilling.
I can't thank you enough, Doctor.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Are you a lover of poetry, Miss Harding?
I guess so. Sure. Mostly the books we read in school. Shakespeare, Chaucer, a little Maya Angelou, Sylvia Plath.
Poetry is very important, especially for the scientist.
How so?
Well, before I began studying biology, I had every intention of becoming a novelist.
Really?
Yes.
Well, and what happened?
I lacked the temperament. Plus, I was never handsome enough to be on a book jacket.
Oh, I don't believe that for a minute.
Oh, like so many, I was always taught the two are polar opposites, science and creative work. Never the twain shall meet. In any case, when I began studying biology, I realized just how much the two have in common.
Well, I think most of my professors would say that the arts are a distraction. They do sequester a lot of funding.
I have no sympathy for idiots. We should round them all up and put them away, fucking troglodytes. Excuse me. A member of our board is also inclined that way.
No, I understand. I appreciate arts, but I don't necessarily see its utility in my work. That's all.
Failure is the binding principle of any discipline that seeks higher truth, don't you think?
Failure? What about innovation or curiosity?
What is all this, Alex? What question confounds you? Whatever it is, you'll know it's worth asking if the answer eludes you until the day you die. You have tests, texts, taxonomies, testable theories. These are models of the natural world, models of the truth. That's all they are or will ever be. Analogies that demand revision because again and again they fail to describe the world with perfect accuracy.
I understand the concept of review, Doctor. The more we study, the more we discover our ignorance.
Keats, very good.
Shelley, actually.
In any case, language could be considered a model of the inexpressible. I dare say Shelley would agree. Men of letters, men of science. Oh, the line gets blurred.
Men.
Well, you misunderstand.
No, I see your point.
Nietzsche said, that for which we find words is something already dead in our hearts.
Well, that's comforting.
And I say to you, that which we can prove to an absolute moral certainty is guaranteed to be trivial.
So you don't believe anything important can ever really be proven? Even over the course of generations?
All I'm suggesting is that this work is, at best, descriptive. It's a long and tired procession of successive failures that brings us any closer to the boundary of knowing.
Well, I guess that sort of takes the pressure off me.
If you need the permission, I'm giving it to you. Fail. There endeth the lecture.
Well, I will do my best to not succeed. Where did you say you were educated?
Oh, a small college in Eastern Europe. You wouldn't have heard of it. As a matter of fact, it no longer exists.
And you came back to the States right after?
No. No. I spent a long time in Siberia.
Siberia?
Yeah, Koryak Mountains. When the wall fell in '89, the Western demand for luxury fur was, well, it skyrocketed. If you were young and knew the land and the animals, there was a great deal of money to be made in those days.
You were a fur trapper?
Hard to believe, I know.
Oh, I thought that was something people only did in movies.
It wasn't all that interesting. You wouldn't believe how bored you can be. But the back country was breathtaking.
Well, that's quite a place to spend your youth.
Well, it may as well have been another lifetime.
You know, I don't remember this from your CV.
Oh, well, I don't disclose everything in my publications. I like to maintain an air of mystery.
Well, I feel lucky to have looked behind the curtain.
It's really not so complicated. I'm really not so complicated. Merely a growing old. Like I said, I've led many lives.
that where you came up with that saying, your time in Siberia?
Saying?
Yeah, I wrote it down, actually. Whatever in creation exists without my knowledge exists without my consent.
Oh, no, I didn't write that. It's from a novel. I use it as a motivational tool to encourage curiosity and so forth. I find mantras are effective for small groups.
Well, I have to say, considering our work, the sentiment seems a little questionable.
Oh, well, there's still time. Do you have everything you need?
Yes, thank you.
You're very impressive, Alex. I asked you here because you're standing at the threshold of something. All that's left is to walk through the door.
I'll try.
Go forward, Faustus. In that famous art wherein all nature's treasure is contained, be thou on earth as Jove is in the sky, Lord and commander of these elements.
Exit Hearst through the stage left door. Enter Hugo and Topher, stage right.
I think we're just about done in there.
Yes, sir. It's starting to look like a real cat house, right?
I can't believe we're still friends.
You'd be lost without me.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate your help.
Listen, I don't know what you're up to later, but sometimes the three of us, me and Shae and Toph, sometimes we hang out. And I don't want to assume or anything. Like, I don't know if you'd be into this or whatnot, but...
We trip together on acid.
Oh.
Dude, just come right out with it.
What? I'm a libertarian.
We usually just wind up listening to some vinyl.
We're all adults. I don't think the state should dictate what we put in our bodies.
Yeah, I think I'll pass for now. But thank you.
Suit yourself. Listen, I have to take off. I'll see you tonight, Toph.
Can't wait.
Later, Alex. Same time tomorrow.
Sure, if you're up for it.
He's the best, isn't he?
Yeah, sure. He's growing on me.
We've been working together for almost 5 years.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
You should really trip with us sometime. Brilliant people get the most out of it.
Right. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe I will.
People think it's an escape or some kind of palliative, but it's so much more. The clarity, color and light. I've never been more honest with myself.
Uh-huh.
And I should know. I have a lot of trouble with that. I'm not bothering you, am I?
No. Nope. Not at all.
Alex, can I ask you something personal?
Have
you ever been in love before?
What?
God damn it. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I really don't do this with anyone.
Oh.
I've never really talked. You just seem so...
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I can't.
What?
Like, it's nothing personal. I'm really not in a position to like be attached like that or to be dating or anything.
God, I didn't mean you. Gross.
What?
I mean, not gross. I just don't really think that I row on that side of the boat. What a nice chat that was. Good evening to you, colleague.
Wait, Topher. Yes, I have.
Can you help me? It's all right. They can't hear us.
Look, I'm not a great person to ask about this.
What was it like?
What was it like?
Yeah.
He turned out to be a dick. More than a dick, like a monster. He turned out to be a monster.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
It was bad.
Oh.
Like very, very bad.
Gee.
And God, I'm sitting here talking like I'm the first person in human history with baggage. You don't want to hear this.
Yes, Alex, I really do.
Why?
Because I'm confused. Really, really, profoundly confused.
What are you confused about?
There are these labels that are supposed to make us more enlightened, are supposed to include more of us. Oh, what do you eat? Who do you sleep with? How do you identify? Take up more space, take up less space. But the more of them we manufacture, the less I have a single fucking clue about how I...
How you fit?
Yes.
And do you think I can help you with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to know if I know, or what it feels like to be sure.
Okay.
To have that conviction about another person.
Well, I can only speak to my experience.
I'm sorry, this is a huge imposition. We don't have to do this now, or here, or ever, or anywhere.
You know how we have these phrases, these cliches, like butterflies in my stomach, sweats off my feet, I'm crazy about her. And they all seem misleading to me now. They imply something desperate, frenetic. But that man walked up to me for the first time and I felt suddenly calm. My hand steadied. I had never breathed so deeply in my life. Like I'd been wearing something heavy, and the second I was aware of the weight, it just slid off my body. Sometimes I regret that, the unburdening, because it disarms you. And, you know, ironically, the lighter you are, the more you become still. There's less resistance, less to fight against, maybe, until it's just you and that other being and this third presence that envelops you both.
Young though she is, the stuff of her life is a great cargo.
What?
My dad used to say it to my sister. I can't remember who wrote it.
What is with you people and poetry?
Thank you, Alex.
For what?
Thank you.
Topher exits stage right. Alex watches him leave and goes back to work at her desk. Harriet exits through the upstage door in the enclosure, leaving Shae alone. There's a beat before Shae comes downstage to the window and looks at Alex as she works. Stephen and Roy enter stage right, causing Shae to exit through the upstage door in the enclosure. Roy is holding a heavy manila envelope.
Oh, excuse us.
We didn't realize you'd still be here.
Not a problem. I'm sorry. Did you need me to leave?
Oh, no, of course not.
No, that's all right.
Stephen and Roy cross to the stage left door, and Roy gives 3 sharp knocks one at a time with a brief pause in between each. The door opens and they go in. Lights fade. Two weeks later, lights up on the desk, now covered in papers and open books. The diagrams and writing on the whiteboard have become a nearly illegible jumble of notes, lists, and arrows. Photographs of different cats are pinned on a piece of corkboard at the top. There's one Bengal tiger. Shae scrubs the enclosure at the instruction of Dr. Hearst, who stands nearby, directing her. Harriet enters the main playing space stage right, listening to music and grooving. Hard. Hearst exits through the upstage door. Shae finishes her work and exits the enclosure, entering stage right a moment later. Shae picks up a broom and begins sweeping the floor downstage of the desk.
So, guess what?
What?
Guess. I did it.
You did what?
And wow. Just wow. I mean, it's like so good.
What's so good?
Like, I cannot believe how good.
Harriet, what the hell are you talking about?
I listened to it, the whole album, several times actually.
Oh.
I mean, thank you. Because just like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
mind blowing.
Yep.
No words.
Mm.
And so like important.
Harriet,
Do you really think he did those things to her?
I don't know.
And Becky with the good hair?
Yeah.
Or is it gold hair? Well, either way, Bae has really outdone herself.
Mm.
Is something wrong?
No, I'm just tired.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm happy to be helping out, but like,
right.
No one is happier to help than me, and I think the work she's doing is
great.
Great. It's great, meaningful.
But
how much longer is this gonna go on? You know, I have shit to do like everyone else.
Well, it seems like she's making progress.
I'm working double shifts.
Dr. Hearst spends a lot of time with her.
Taking care of these things is no picnic. You know?
Weren't you working with him for a while? One-on-one?
Yeah. He said he could fast track me to research.
Really? Even though you don't have...
What, a master's?
No, I didn't mean... No. I mean, maybe you're...
Forget it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I didn't... Sorry. Anyway, I think Alex just needs a little longer.
I'm starting to stink.
No, you don't stink.
I smell like cat piss.
Oh, I haven't noticed.
That's because you do too. We've all been spending way too much time in there.
Well, they're beautiful though, aren't they?
Whatever.
Enter Alex stage right.
Benji needs breakfast a little early today.
Good morning to you too.
Oh, I love Benji. Sweet Benji.
Which one is he again?
The male Bengal tiger. I need him fed before we move him back in for observation this morning.
Why is that?
He just stares at me through the glass. Otherwise, I guess he knows I control the meals.
What a smart little kitty.
Anyway, if you two can take care of that, it'd be a huge help.
Sure thing. We're on it. Right, Shae?
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Have you seen Roy or Steven around this morning?
No, I haven't. I actually don't think I've seen them for like a week.
They don't talk much, do they?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think I've had like one single conversation with Steven, ever. Roy can be really sweet, but like you said, he's so quiet. It's nothing personal, I promise. They're actually just like two big goofballs.
What exactly do they do for Dr. Hearst?
Well, I know they used to be his research assistants, but now it seems like that I don't mean to sound condescending or offensive or anything.
What?
Well, it seems like they're basically just his errand boys at this point.
Well, what makes you say that?
Well, I've literally seen them deliver his mail.
Huh.
What?
No, it's just that, I've seen them coming and going from his office a lot since I started, usually with some mail. Except it looks like the same piece every time, like just an envelope.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad for them, but this is what happens when you work for an old white guy.
Right.
You wind up just brewing coffee and delivering mail from AARP and listening to weird stories about the Indians.
Hugo enters the enclosure, followed closely by Topher. They are both carrying 10-gallon buckets.
Oh, crap. I should probably go up catch up with Shae.
Good idea.
Hey, good talk. We're all really glad you're here.
Exit Harriet stage right. Alex sits and begins looking over some notes. Topher and Hugo are now on opposite sides of the enclosure. There's an exchange in which Topher says something. Hugo stops working, turns around, says something back. The two stand facing each other across the room. Topher poises to speak again, but before he can, Alex rises from the chair, knocks on the glass, and motions for Topher to come out.
Topher, 2 minutes?
Topher exits through the upstage door and enters from stage right a few moments later.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but can I run something by you? Great, have a seat. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I might have found something. I just need another set of eyes. You sure you're okay?
Yes, Alex, I'm fine. You found something?
Right, so, I've been poring over the spot where most taxonomies diverge into cats and dogs.
Canidae and Felidae, right?
Exactly. In about half of the versions of the tree, Canidae has 41 species in total. Now these trees exclude related species like hyenas or mongooses and make them a part of a totally different family.
I guess I always thought of hyenas as big cats.
Well, they're subdivided according to only about half the trees. The idea is that evolutionary divergence makes them too distantly related to be included with the other cats.
Okay, what about the other ones?
Well, the other trees expand that same family to include civets, hyenas, mongooses, foci, and a bunch of others.
Oh, what the hell is a civet?
Well, it doesn't matter, just stay with me. That means that these could contain as many as 4 times the number of species of Felidae as the other trees.
But how can that half just decide to group them together when the other half didn't?
Oh, it's weird, right? It just comes down to the criteria. One half basically disregards evolutionary relationships and groups them based on physical appearance.
But wouldn't that make the distinctions between species pretty subjective?
Exactly. I've been watching these cats for 2 weeks, and you could argue the differences in their locomotion alone call for a taxonomic revision. Lions hunt in packs. They move totally differently than tigers who hunt alone. Now those two are different from leopards who hunt mostly in trees.
But that's mostly about behavior, right? Social dynamics, not about the way they look.
No, the point is, if Joe Schmo scientist is just arbitrarily choosing a criterion to classify an animal, it means there's been almost no attempt to standardize these practices over time.
Wait. Maybe this is just an issue with this particular family, with Felidae.
Well, I thought so too, but it shows up everywhere. Bird groups, reptiles.
Fuck!
Well, think about the implications with something like bacteria. They reproduce asexually into hundreds, thousands of individuated organisms.
How do you decide where one species ends and another begins?
Or what constitutes difference even within a single species.
Hang on.
Am I crazy? If you were to somehow create a new system and reduce the amount of evolutionary divergence in families to a minimum, I estimate 75 to 90% of current mammal groupings would need to be amended.
Jesus. Wait, but the shifts would be incremental, right? A species here, a species there. Oh, we're not talking about burning down the entire house.
Well, at first, yes, but there's a domino effect. Move one brick, you have to move another, and another, and another, and move enough bricks, and eventually...
You've got a totally different house. Alex, do you realize what you're saying? I mean, if you're right about this, then...
The order that we impose on all of it, the concept of classification, it's...
precarious.
At best.
In need of revision.
Drastically so, constant revision. But that doesn't mean it's irrelevant. On the contrary, it's more consequential than we ever thought.
You told Hearst?
No, I wanted to make sure it was worthwhile.
Are you serious? Look, if you want to impress him, let's just say I think you've got the job done.
Oh my god.
We're fucked.
What's going on?
We can't find Benji.
What do you mean you can't find him?
Not fucking there.
What?
We fed him last night before we went home.
And we went out to bring him in, and he's not there.
In here?
No, out there.
No, I mean you fed him in here?
No, we fed him out there.
Well, did he evaporate? He's a 600-pound tiger.
Oh, shit.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God, I'm getting pukey.
The door to his holding house wasn't open.
What are we going to do?
Wait, the door wasn't open like just now?
No,
No, it was open?
no, it wasn't.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we
All you had to do was feed him and bring him in, you fucking idiot.
It's not our fault.
Oh no? Well, whose fault is it? You must have left the latch undone.
Someone must have stolen him.
Stolen him?
Don't waste my fucking time.
Oh, wait, I want to hear you say that you think some hooded intruder came in the middle of the night with a fucking burlap sack and quietly absconded with the king of the goddamn jungle.
Wait, isn't the lion considered the king of the jungle?
Fuck you, Harriet.
Do you have any idea what you've done? I mean, this could be it. All my research wasted, not to mention our jobs and our reputations.
You're worried about your research.
Oh, we have to tell her.
Tell her? No. No. Are you out of your mind?
Shut up.
What?
What is it?
Do you hear that?
Oh my God.
Is it him?
Who?
Dr. Hearst or Benji?
It can't be Benji, can it?
The door.
Shit.
Hey, you cats, how's it hanging? Everything okay?
We can't find Benji.
What do you mean you can't find him?
He's gone. We left him in his temporary unit last night, and now he's not there.
I think we just need to bite the bullet and tell Hearst.
Goodbye.
He's gonna fire us.
God damn it, you better keep it together, girl.
Okay, if he got out this morning, he can't have gone far. He's probably just wandering around another enclosure or something. So get the hell out of here and go look for him.
Go look for. He eats the flesh of living things.
Well, call one of the guys from Control. Tell him to bring a trank rifle. I'll talk to Hearst.
You shouldn't have to do that alone.
He has to know. Just go. Get out of here and go find him.
They all exit stage right, leaving Alex alone. She sits at her desk, furious. Rises, goes to the stage right exit, stops. Turns around, crosses slowly to Hearst's door. She stops, collects herself, and does a shave and a haircut knock. Hearst enters stage right.
I heard.
You did?
Yes, early this morning.
Doctor.
Don't.
Look.
A full-grown male Bengal tiger.
I know.
They won't find him.
Dr. Hearst crosses and sits in Alex's chair.
I take full responsibility.
We scoured the grounds. He's gone.
Alex slowly approaches him.
Doctor, I am so sorry. We can fix this.
She tentatively puts a hand on his back. He turns and buries his head in her stomach. She embraces him. It is a moment of strange liaison. Shae and Harriet enter through the upstage door in the enclosure. Lights fade. Later that night, lights up on Alex sitting at her desk, trying to focus on work. Hugo is leaning against the enclosure glass, counting out tabs of LSD. Shae is pacing near the stage right door. Topher is sitting downstage in a folding chair.
That shit away, Hugo. No one's in the mood.
This is exactly what we all need right now.
If Hearst sees you with that,
He wouldn't even know what it is. Besides, we're all probably going to get fired anyway.
It's getting late.
he should be back any minute.
I don't know how much longer I can stay.
We have to wait for him.
I have a dog.
Let's just give it a few more minutes.
Hugs.
Shae,
We are.
Calm down, Shae.
not helping.
He'll come back and he'll have more information and we'll talk. We'll just talk.
Talk.
Yeah.
He's is going to skin us alive.
Well, it's not only our fault.
Easy for you to say.
What does that mean?
We're not all as close to Hearst as you.
Excuse me?
Don't act all innocent.
Shae,
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Bullshit.
Shae, back off.
Don't defend her.
I'm not going to dignify this with a response.
Snobby bitch.
What did you say?
Whoa, whoa, Shae, what the hell is the matter with you?
Shut up, Topher. I can handle myself.
Oh, yes, she can.
I've never seen someone so fucking poisoned by envy.
You don't know me. You don't know shit about me.
Well, I know you're not worth the time it would take for me to embarrass you.
And I know you're nothing more than his little protege.
Enter Harriet from stage right with a tray of 5 coffees from Starbucks.
Why do girls like you always assume everyone else has to sleep with their boss to get ahead?
Girls like me? Fuck you.
I hope I got everybody's order right.
Here, let me get those for you.
Hugo crosses to Harriet and takes the coffee. During the following exchange, he takes the cups downstage, sets them out on a small table, and drops 2 tabs of LSD into Alex and Shae's coffee, respectively.
Everyone just take a few deep breaths.
Toph's right. Everybody drink some Java and chill the fuck out.
I'm good. I'm over it. I've said what I need to say.
This is not over. This is not fucking over.
So is everyone gonna Venmo me or?
Did you hear what I said?
Fuck you.
Alex, go sit down.
Shae.
Sit down. Do you hear me? Please.
All right. Let's see. Tall pumpkin spice latte for Harriet. Grande black coffee for Topher. Americano for moi. Venti black coffee for Alex. And tall pumpkin chai with a shot of espresso for Shae.
Actually, I had that one. The pumpkin chai with espresso.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah. You had the pumpkin spice latte, right, Shae?
Yeah, here.
Mine smells so good.
Enjoy.
Is this one mine?
Yep. Alex, black coffee?
I'm not thirsty.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. I will leave it here.
Roy.
Hi, everyone.
What's going on?
Is there any news?
Well, Dr. Hearst wanted me to let you know he's not coming back in tonight.
Well, where is he?
Damage control.
Have they found Benji yet?
It's out of our hands.
So what are we supposed to do?
Go home. Get some rest. You look like you could use it.
What about our jobs? Are we fired?
I really don't know. Hearst told me to tell you he'll be back in tomorrow morning.
Well, that clears things up.
Can you call him or something? Obviously, you have like access to him.
Look, he was very clear. All I know is I'm supposed to come here, take some pictures of some insurance documents for him, and tell you he'll be in tomorrow morning. Now, if you excuse me.
Roy crosses stage left to Dr. Hearst's office, unlocks it and enters, closing the door behind him.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
About what? Nothing happened. He didn't tell us anything.
About tomorrow morning. He's going to be here. What's going to happen tomorrow morning?
What do you think he's doing in there?
Insurance documents.
Come on, really?
Roy exits Dr. Hearst's office, locking the door behind him.
Oh, come on, go home. You don't need to be here anymore.
Roy exits stage right.
Is it just me? Or should we take this fucking golden opportunity to go in there?
It's just you.
No way. I'm going home.
Come on. What is it, like 9 o'clock? No one else is here, I guarantee it.
I really don't think this is a good idea in light of everything.
I'll go.
What?
Hey, now we're talking.
Alex.
Hugo's right. Tomorrow might be it for us anyway. It might be, I don't know, a last hurrah.
It's probably just office stuff.
How would you even get in, Hugo?
Not that it matters, because none of us are going in there.
Break the lock?
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, great. Add that to the list of charges.
Yeah, too risky.
What the hell is happening? Are we planning a bank heist?
Oh my God, there's a master key in the custodial office.
What? How do you know that?
Remember that chick? Lisa.
Oh my god, that chick with that
I
weird...
still can't believe you had intercourse with a custodian.
We'll be in and out in 10 minutes. He'll never know we were there.
I'm not doing it.
Shae, how many times? How many times have we wanted to see what's behind that door? This might be our last chance.
It's probably nothing. Just an office.
Well, I'm going, so you can either join me or be a pussy.
Okay, that's extremely offensive, Hugo. But you know what? Fine. Challenge accepted.
Are you kidding me? Harriet? You, of all people.
Hey, I can be daring, adventurous.
Oh, speaking of adventures, I may or may not have, but definitely did accidentally lace your coffee with LSD.
Okay, Hugo.
No, I'm serious. I was trying to bomb their drinks, to calm them down, to take the edge off. But remember how I got yours and Shae's mixed up?
You put LSD, like, in my coffee.
It was a mistake.
You tried to ninja dose me? What in the fuck is wrong with you? I can't decide if I'm horrified or really impressed.
Jesus. Who does something like that? That is not okay, Hugo.
Take it easy. You didn't even touch yours.
You guys? Am I going to die?
No. You're going to be fine. Normally, I'd say we should all trip, but I think this is a special case.
Oh my god! It's starting!
You've been in your system for like 5 minutes. Breathe. Let it work its magic.
Go get the key. I'll stay with her.
Toph, let's get out of here.
Ugh. Son of a bitch, I'm staying.
What if he's got alarms wired or something? Shit, what if he's in there right now?
A condemned man fears no censure.
Lights fade. Intermission. Lights up on Dr. Hearst's office. The room is clean and meticulously organized. Upstage is a large desk with a high-back swivel chair. A large manila envelope is on the desk. Next to the desk is a filing cabinet. The walls and surfaces are covered with pieces of cryptotaxidermy, various animal parts put together like the pieces of a grotesque puzzle. A buck head in a wedding dress, a squirrel with bird feet, a turtle with eagle's wings, etc. Alex, Hugo, Harriet, Shae, and Topher stand together, staring up at the trophies.
Well, this is
Rather sobering.
yikes.
Oh,
Fuck.
What are we looking at?
I really don't like this.
I think it's called cryptotaxidermy.
Why do you know
I
that?
read about it somewhere.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Do you think this is like
I don't feel good.
a sexual thing?
What?
Gross.
Maybe it's just
I seriously feel sick.
a hobby. People have hobbies.
A hobby?
I'm just saying, people work with wood, collect stamps, basket weaving.
Yeah, bro, this is definitely in the basket weaving family.
Do you think this is illegal?
Legal wouldn't make it any less fucked up.
I don't see any endangered species or anything. I mean, I don't think there's any law.
Law? What about natural law?
Well, if we're gonna go there, you could argue penicillin violates natural law.
Dude, not a valid comparison.
All I'm saying is it's the 21st century. People do weird, inexplicable things. They go to sex parties, refuse to vaccinate their children. They drink almond milk.
Hugo's right. I don't think it's a hobby. It looks more like a compulsion.
Am I dead? Am I among the deceased?
Oh, God, here she goes.
Harriet. Harriet. Is she okay?
She'll be fine. Just keep an eye on her.
Look, I think we got what we came for. We saw this. We should just go.
Oh, suck up, Shae. We're here. We might as well poke around a little. Maybe he's got like a pelican head on a cheetah or something.
He never mentioned this to any of you?
Yeah, we talked about it all the time. This one was my idea. What if he comes back? Do you have any goddamn idea what he'll do?
Nope.
Neither do I.
Relax. Roy said he's not coming back tonight.
What if he's wrong?
Alex takes out her phone and starts taking pictures.
What? What are you doing?
I've never seen anything like this.
What are you going to do with the photos?
I don't know. Maybe I can use them for something. From a scientific standpoint, this is weirdly compelling.
Compelling?
He's rearranging and manipulating everything. It's sort of awesome, in the literal sense of the word.
It's probably considered art in some circles.
There's something beautiful about it, don't you think? It makes you forget about what these things looked like in the first place.
Something is wrong with you.
Like, it all seems so fluid.
It's also not a bad, insurance policy. The photos.
What?
I mean, if he's so desperate for no one to be in here, maybe a couple of pictures gives us some leverage, given the current situation.
What?
Holy shit, you salty, Sally.
Behold, the Hall of Presidents.
You know, I actually prefer her this way.
Thank you, delegate from Chile.
I can't wait to tell her she said that. What's on his desk, Alex?
Not much, just some papers and books and stuff.
Anything interesting?
There's a calendar, some feed orders.
What the hell are you doing? You think he wouldn't notice his stuff is in the right order?
Alex picks up a paper from the desktop.
Item, Black Angus top round, 150 pounds. It looks like that's just for one cat. It seems excessive for a week.
Screw it.
Don't do it, Toph. Don't open that drawer.
It's just a couple of books. Ansel Adams' Basic Techniques of Photography, A Brief Introduction to International Trade Law. Wait, there's a CD. Oh my God.
Topher holds up a CD case. Enya's Paint the Sky with Stars.
This motherfucker listens to Enya?
No wonder he keeps the door locked. Oh, hey, this looks cool. The Healer Within, Foundations of Traditional Chinese Medicine.
To feel the chi, the monkey must first cleanse his meridian.
Are we certain she's going to be okay?
Hugo approaches a taxidermy piece on the filing cabinet.
What are you?
Topher, look at this.
Let me see.
Dear Dr. Hearst, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks for your annual donation of $350 to the National Young Arts Foundation. Donations like yours continue to help children of all ages discover...
Wow, what a guy.
I didn't understand him before, now I don't have a fucking clue.
It does seem a little incongruous.
Does donate to some charities. What's wrong with that?
He donates to a children's charity, and I'm standing next to an otter with 4 duck feet stapled to its body.
So he donates to charity and he's got a weird-ass hobby that he hides from people. We all have shit like that. Contradiction.
I see you all as if for the first time. You're so beautiful.
Do you think she'll journal about this later?
Roy and Steven have to know about this, right?
He hides his weird hobby from some people. Mystery solved. Now let's go. Please.
I will never be the same. We will never be the same.
Hang on.
Topher picks up the manila envelope.
Now fucking think about it.
Wait, is it sealed?
Yeah, there's no address though. Feels really heavy.
Whoa, yeah. She's probably right. If we open that, he'll know for sure someone was in here.
Open it! Open it!
What the hell? Shut up, Harriet.
Sorry, I ain't sorry, I ain't sorry.
No, I'm done. This white girl's a liability. Put the envelope down, Toph.
Hang on, maybe there's a way to reseal it. See if there's a letter opener in one of those drawers.
Okay, you guys, seriously, Shae's right. I think this might be, too far.
Are you kidding me? Whatever happened to sack up, Shae?
Topher, dude, look at me. I don't feel good about this.
What's the difference? You said it yourself. We're all gonna get fired anyway.
It's his mail. You're tampering with his mail.
Probably just bills or invoices or some boring shit like that.
She's right. We have no reason to think there's anything interesting in there.
Let's find out for sure.
Do you want to add criminal mail theft charges to a gross incompetence lawsuit?
Criminal mail theft? What's wrong with you? Why are you being like this?
Topher, I cannot be charged with a federal crime. Do you hear me?
Come on, don't be so dramatic.
It will be really, really bad for me.
What does that mean?
You know what it means?
I have no clue, actually.
I don't want to go into it, okay?
So that's it? You got your cheap transgressive thrill and now you're just calling it
Hey,
off?
asshole. I served time in prison. Hearst knows.
Oh.
Really?
Yes. As in, formerly incarcerated.
No way. I mean, look, it's all good.
Wait, as in
Yes.
Hugo?
Just put it down, Topher.
Jesus, man. I didn't know.
Why didn't you ever tell us?
Hearst agreed to keep it a secret when he hired me. I guess the cat's out of the bag.
So what are you in for, kid?
Please, shut up, Harriet.
I fought the law when the law won.
Nope. Not funny, Harriet.
It's good.
She's giving law. She doesn't even know
Do
what
you want me to take her outside or something?
Harriet, look at me. Shut the fuck up!
Hey, it's done. It's in the past. And I really don't want to talk about it right now. Or ever, to be honest.
Of course, I'm just so sorry.
All good, man. It's
No, hey, seriously, it's not okay. I should never have. We don't think of you any differently. I promise. We love you, Hugo. I love you. I love you. I love you. Man.
Gay!
All right, that's it. This bitch needs to go.
This bitch? Who, this bitch?
Oh my God.
Okay, you know what? You're going to LSD jail.
When will I be eligible for parole?
Please remove this woman before I cut her tongue out with this letter opener.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. Time keeps dragging on.
so I guess this was pretty messed up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I love you too, bro. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow. Good night.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Me? Yeah. Yep. Totally. Good.
Are you sure?
I have to go.
Exit Topher. Alex stepped back and takes in the office. She slowly approaches the desk, looks to the door. She picks up the manila envelope and tears it open. Lights fade. Early the next morning, lights up on Alex, sitting at her desk with several documents from the envelope. She has not slept. After a while, she checks her phone. Harriet pokes her head in through the upstage enclosure door and sees Alex. She shuts the door. Harriet enters stage right, startling Alex, who then scrambles to conceal the documents.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Have you seen Dr. Hearst?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Fine. Did you get home safe last night?
Yeah. I don't remember a whole lot, though. That's like criminal, right? I should sue him or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, men always get away with stuff like this. Drugs, sex, anything that's remotely consent-based is just like beyond their capacity to understand. Are you sure you're okay?
I mean, yeah, considering.
Right, Benji. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I slept so well last night, like a drunk baby. I mean, I would never, ever do that again, the drugs. But did we, what exactly did we do last night?
Oh, not much, really.
I lost most of it. I got home and realized how tired I was. God, I'm so pissed at Hugo.
Yeah.
I remember standing somewhere. I looked down and there was grass. Clay. Like being on the plains or something.
Really?
I felt safe though. And I looked out and saw...
Saw what?
I don't remember, but I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid of anything.
Sounds really nice.
And I felt this warm sense of wonder. Sort of euphoric, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was still a huge violation of my trust, and Hugo can go to hell. Did I, do or say anything that I should know about?
Nope. It was all pretty, On brand.
Good. I mean, like, I figured as much. I just wanted to make sure. How was your night?
Oh, fine. It's good.
So I guess this is it, huh? Judgment Day.
Yeah.
What up, fools?
Hi, Hugo.
Here she is, Trippy McTripperson.
Well, let me begin by saying what a totally reprehensible thing you did to me last night.
Oh, lighten up.
You're in a good mood. Why are you in a good mood?
When the revolutionary is led to his death, does he not know the weightlessness of vindication?
Yeah, you've been spending way too much time with Topher.
So you're what, Robespierre in that scenario?
I'm not going to lie to you. I have absolutely no idea who that is.
Hugo, don't you dare tell me to lighten up. I'm a victim.
Oh, yeah? I victimized you by accidentally giving you an experience of intellectual and spiritual expansion, which you desperately needed.
Do not gaslight me.
There we go.
You can't do things like that to people, Hugo.
Okay. I'll apologize before I'm washed away in a flood of righteous tears. I'm sorry.
That was not sincere.
Jesus Christ, grow up, Harriet. I made the gesture.
It was LSD. It's illegal. How about if I call the police, Hugo? What?
Come on, Hugo. Just apologize. To both of us, actually, because that thing was meant for me.
All right. I'm really sorry. That was totally unfair and over the line.
Yes, it was.
I will never accidentally give you drugs again.
Thank you.
Have you guys seen Topher this morning?
Not yet.
No.
I called him like 4 times.
Hi, Shae.
Hey, have you seen Toph? You look like shit.
Thanks for noticing. Someone made me sneak into my boss's hellscape of office last night, and I could not sleep afterwards.
Wait, what?
Why does everyone hate me this morning?
I'm scared, okay? I'm fucking scared.
Scared of what?
Just forget it.
Shae, it's okay. He's just weird. That stuff is just stuff. It's just a weird hobby.
What stuff?
No, Hugo, I didn't like it at all. Didn't like it.
He's harmless, Shae.
No one else has a really bad feeling about this.
Hang on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, Doctor.
I have news about Benji. Where's Topher?
We don't know.
You all look as though you've seen a ghost. I'm pleased to tell you that Benji has been recovered.
Are you sure?
Yes. Thankfully, no harm has come to him or anyone else, as far as we know. We've shipped him to a nearby specialist for testing, just a precaution. Alex, I'm sorry to say your research will have to proceed without him. After he's cleared, he'll be sent to a sanctuary in England.
Did you say proceed?
I'm afraid it was the only way to prevent a total cessation of your research here. Having said that, my intention is to redouble our efforts and continue to support Ms. Harding's valuable work.
Does that mean...
Provided we update our security, remain vigilant, and grovel to the appropriate parties, you'll have a new Bengal tiger in the rotation and an option to extend the project.
Extend? For how long?
Until you publish, and for as long as your work continues to bear fruit. We could even arrange for you to do your postdoctorate fellowship here.
Oh.
I know it's a lot to consider. There's no need to decide immediately. Please, plenty of time.
Doctor, do we...
I have no intention of dismissing anyone. By the looks of you, the weight of your guilt has been more than sufficient punishment. Okay, there now.
I think she needs a minute.
Please. Chin up. Stop. It was a mistake. Let's put it behind us and move forward, shall we? Miles to go, work to be done.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I don't understand. The WCS or Panthera or some organization didn't demand you take action against us?
Would you prefer I terminate you, Hugo?
No. I just don't understand.
I took full responsibility. It happened under my supervision, after all. It's a poor workman that blames his tools.
Right, but I haven't heard anything from...
Hugo, please. It's over. All we can do now is focus on preventing future incidents.
Okay.
Go home, get some rest. It'll be a few days before we can reopen anyhow.
Really?
Go home.
Doctor,
I know this isn't your fault.
no.
Your work is important. You shouldn't be punished for another's mistake.
I need to speak with you.
Oh?
You should sit down.
I know what this is about. What happened earlier. I'm sorry. It was highly inappropriate and unbecoming, a moment of weakness. Forgive me.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, what is it then?
Alex walks slowly to her desk, removes the manila envelope, and holds it in both hands.
Consider very carefully what you're about to say.
I have no idea what to say.
Well, then say this. I am far out of my depth. Go on, say it. Say it.
I am far, far out of my depth.
The situation is nuanced beyond my comprehension.
Shut up.
Say it.
The situation is nuanced beyond my comprehension.
Good. I trespassed. I stole private property. I have committed multiple felonies.
Tell me this is a mistake.
Say it. I trespassed.
I trespassed. Fuck you.
This could be very bad for you, Alexandra.
I didn't do anything.
Complicity is in the eye of the beholder.
Where is he?
Where is who?
Benji.
I told you, you won't see him again.
Well, where are the rest of them? Are they safe?
I'm afraid there's nothing you can do.
I can expose you. You're hiding in plain sight.
Tell me, what evidence will you produce to support your claim? Let me be clear. You will not leave this room with that envelope. Try to understand. I'm answerable to certain parties. If you threaten their business, I can promise you retribution will be grave.
Don't threaten me, you piece of shit.
Calm down. You have no idea what it is you're objecting to.
You sell the body parts of stolen tigers.
To high-end niche clientele.
And my work gives you a steady source of product.
It's true. I won't deny it. But do you know what I find most compelling about your work, Alex?
Well, I have a pretty good idea.
You study the classification of organisms. Meanwhile, your generation is preoccupied with this social classification. You urgently revise your identities day in, day out, add a letter to this acronym, discard that word, wear the badge of your group, moralize. Look down at the other herds from the self-righteous high ground. But constructing a category of living things is like trying to catch smoke. By the time you curl your fingers around it, it will already have changed its shape to evade you. Identity does not want to be found. Whoever you thought you were today, you won't be tomorrow. That is same true as in science.
We're not talking about my work. We're talking about your business.
The two aren't unrelated. If nature were liberated from category, we would be free to take our rightful place in it.
And what place is that?
You know the answer. The top spot, of course. The head of the table. How else do you arrange the value of living things but by first placing yourself at the center?
Hierarchies have a way of being top-heavy. Ask the tiger. Ask anything sold to the edge of extinction by the so-called dominant group.
Hierarchy is the only immutable product of nature. To deny it is futile. My business embraces it, that's all. The tiger eats the stag. I eat the tiger.
I look at you and I'm ashamed. Ashamed to be a member of the species that bends over backwards to justify its cruelty.
The trouble with your classification, Alex, is it makes it far too easy to attribute all the good in the world to one group and all of the evil to another.
Classification protects life. It always has.
Does it? If the category of an animal can be changed on a whim, then so can its value. But if the category is removed altogether, then we are all equally significant and therefore in equal need of protection. All are vulnerable, worthy of study, worthy of preservation. We could have saved the dodo, for God's sake. Or any of the hundreds of species driven to extinction every day by exclusionary classifications. Think of the tremendous work we could do, Alex, if we accepted that all life in an endless sequence of change and transformation.
Doctor.
We're more alike than you think. We want the same things.
We are not the same.
I'm not a monster, Alex. You know me. You know me better than most.
I thought...
Alex, Alexandra, you have a chance to be part of something. It may seem distasteful to you at the moment, but all revolutions spit in the face of convention.
Doctor.
Full partner.
What?
You will have absolute parity in the business decisions and in the trajectory of this institution. Or if you like, you will never hear another word about my clients. We pretend this never happened, and I fast-track you to management.
Management?
That's right. I can put you on the board. I give you authority, real authority. No more begging for funding, no more fighting for scraps. Your zoo.
What about my research?
Did you think you were finished? Not even close. We can make this the foremost research facility in the country, the cutting edge. Imagine what we could do, Dr. Harding.
I need to sit down.
No, you don't.
Look, I thought you were a scientist.
I'm more than that.
You actually think you're different? You aren't a trailblazer. You aren't some pioneer. You're a fucking fraud and a criminal. Now, it makes you feel powerful, doesn't it? Transcendent, even. It's convincing when you play God because you have two of the most important qualities.
Which are?
Vanity and cowardice.
Oh, I'm a coward now, am I?
You're terrified. You're a fucking child.
Huh.
What could possibly be more threatening to you than me? I see now why you really brought me here.
I admire you, Alex.
You read my proposal. You brought me here because it scared you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
I was, how did you put it, a lower creature but a formidable one?
I never said that.
Capable of overturning the natural order. You brought me here because you were afraid of me.
I brought you here because you are exceptional.
You have no idea.
I know how valuable you are.
Everything you stand for, your ethos, it's fear. You'd never give me any real authority. To feel safe, you need to be in control. And I know what I am to you. One of those things on your wall, something to be anatomized, disassembled, and manipulated, neutralized through study.
You've committed a crime.
But you can't get rid of a threat like that by violence or captivity.
And why is that?
Because it will always stare back at you through the glass. am a tiger.
Enough.
I'm a tiger.
That's enough.
I'm a motherfucking tiger.
Enough! This is not a difficult decision, Alex. I'm offering you a chance to realize your potential, your immense potential.
You stay where you are.
You know you're not the only one I've approached.
Who?
You know it. What does it matter? We both know you're of a different order altogether. Take some time. Think it over. They stumble that run fast.
I don't need time. I have the envelope.
How much? How much will it take to convince you? Name your price.
You have nothing left. No other tools.
I have other tools, but you won't like those.
If you touch me, you'll condemn yourself.
I don't know if you recall, but a recent accident set a predator loose.
That never happened. You made it up.
And yet, you still heard his footsteps.
Lights fade. Later. Lights up on Hugo in Alex's chair, flipping through one of her research texts. Topher enters stage right.
Dude, where the hell have you been? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was at home.
I sent you like 100 texts.
Where is everyone?
Hearst sent us all home for the day.
So what are you doing here?
I couldn't relax. I was really worried about you, man.
You waited for me?
Yeah.
Why?
We should never have gone into his office. It was stupid.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry about all that.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, I know, but I kind of felt like the
Don't
ringleader.
worry about it.
But hey, we didn't get fired. Oh shit, I guess you weren't here for that. Did you know we didn't get fired?
I hadn't heard that, actually. Good.
Fucking A, it is.
Look, Hugo, I need to talk to you.
Oh, dude, don't worry about it. I've decided I'm not going to hide it from people anymore. It doesn't change who I am.
It's not about that, Hugo.
Why do you keep saying my name like that?
It's about what I said the other night in Hearst's office.
What did you say?
You really don't remember?
Remember what?
Oh. You know what? Never mind.
No, come on.
No, seriously, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, it's okay. Time for a quick game? It's been a while.
Yeah, why not? Whose turn to guess?
Mine.
Oh, shit. The doctor is in. Okay, got it.
Is it a living thing?
Yeah.
Is it a person?
Yes.
Is it someone you know personally?
God damn it, how you always get the first three right?
I guess I just know how you think.
That you do, my friend, that you do. 3 down, shoot.
Is it your brother Stewie?
Nope. Good guess, though.
Roy and Stephen enter through upstage enclosure door at a run. Out of breath, harried, they exit and re-enter stage right a moment later.
Have you seen Hearst?
Hearst. Have you seen Dr. Hearst?
No, I thought he went home for the day.
Roy and Stephen exit.
Nice to see you too.
That was weird.
Something must be on the loose. Too soon?
Can I just keep guessing?
Okay. What's up with you?
What do you mean?
You're all sullen and twitchy. And not your usual, I'm a grown-ass white guy that owns salamanders twitchy.
Hugo. I don't want to ruin this.
Ruin what?
This.
Okay.
Because this means a lot to me.
Dude, how much time have we spent together in this goddamn place? How much random shit have we hashed out in that reptile house? In those weird hallways that have the like very dark zoo/suicide cult lighting? Whatever it is, you can tell me.
I'm not good at this part.
What part?
Talking part.
Toph, You have the biggest vocabulary of anyone I've ever met. It's a little annoying.
That's not going to help me with this.
Okay, I'll help you.
How?
How about this? We play another game.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Come on. Here we go. Is it something you did?
Hugo.
Come on, is it something you did?
No.
Is it something you didn't do?
Yes.
Cool. Are you keeping track?
What?
Of questions, duh.
Fine. 2.
Is it something you regret not doing?
Hugo,
Is it something you regret not doing?
Yeah. 3.
Does it have to do with work?
No. Yes.
Help me out.
No, not really.
Does it have to do with someone at work?
Yeah.
Great. Great. That's 5?
Hugo, please.
No, hey, it's okay. Making progress. Does it have to do with Hearst?
No, it's not. Can we please not do this?
If you're not going to be a man and just...
Look, it's not like a binary thing, okay? Yes or no isn't going to...
Oh, shit. Does it have to do with me?
Come on. Knock it off.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm done playing.
Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just me?
Yeah. You're the only thing.
Cool, cool. I think maybe that's enough for now.
You don't know how this feels.
You're okay.
No. No, I'm really not. I can tell you with conviction that I am not okay. Hugo! Hugo!
I'm right here. You don't need to say my name.
Hugo.
Hey, come on. Cut it out.
Don't.
This isn't who you are. This isn't who I am.
Hugo.
Topher?
Topher closes the distance to Hugo very slowly. Hugo is at first in a kind of defensive stance. The closer Topher comes, the more Hugo softens. Their lips meet with great care and fragility. Short beat, Hugo exits stage right. Alex enters through the upstage enclosure door, carrying a backpack. Topher, on the verge of collapse, turns and sees Alex, turns back immediately. After a moment, he turns again and waves to Alex, who waves back. Topher exits stage right. Alex hurriedly comes downstage to the window, looking out into the space, making sure she's alone. She turns upstage and begins photographing various parts of the enclosure with her phone. Alex turns to see Shae entering from Dr. Hearst's office. They see each other. Alex exits through the upstage door. Shae is paralyzed. Alex enters stage right.
Hey.
Is he in there?
No.
How long?
What?
How long have you known?
About what?
Shae,
What?
you're really gonna do this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know, Shae. I know about her.
Hell is
There's
going
not enough time, okay? There's not enough time left for me to sit here and pretend that our roles are magically reversed and suddenly I'm the fucking idiot. Shae, please. When did you talk?
The day after you started.
Jesus Christ.
You want me to apologize?
I want you to think. I think about the repercussions. Think about his buyers. Think about what it looks like. What it actually looks like when he does those things. I don't know what he told you, how he manipulated you. Oh.
Do you want to know why I listened to him? Why I didn't call the cops or report him or just run away screaming?
No.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I don't want to hear it.
Because the truth is that no matter what I do, or how hard I work, or who I try to please, I am always at the fucking bottom. And he came to me first.
Shae, you're not at the bottom of anything.
What do you know about it?
Well, don't tell yourself that to make it easier.
He came to me first. That's right, he talked to me before he talked to you.
Shae, just listen to me.
This is how it feels.
Shae, whoever you think I am, whatever you think I've done, it's him. He's been playing us against each other since I started.
It doesn't change the timeline.
Shae, he came to you first because he knew you were weak.
Fuck you!
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Malleable. Okay, he knew you were malleable.
Is that what you call someone who just got a promotion? Okay, who's upwardly mobile?
Just listen to me. You haven't thought this through. Okay, people go to prison for this.
It's too late.
No, it's not. We can stop this. We can burn this all down and we can ruin him.
He made me do something bad to prove I was loyal. Let me tell you something, Alexandra. I didn't blink a goddamn eye.
Look, you have to leave now.
Stay where you are or I'll fucking scream.
Alex, he's coming. It's not safe.
Is that what he told you to say?
No,
I know what you really do for him.
we have to go.
Please, take my advice. Get out of here.
Roy and Stephen exit stage right. Alex begins to feverishly gather research from her desk and shove it into her backpack.
What are you doing?
My research. I have to save as much as I can.
No, stop.
No, I think I might still be able to salvage the project.
You're not leaving.
What are you talking about?
Hearst has video of you with Benji and with the other cats.
What are you saying?
Your name is on everything. All the correspondence, all the invoices, contracts.
What?
He told me to doctor them.
You doctored them?
Like a motherfucking PhD. And if you tell anyone, you'll never convince them you weren't involved.
That's bullshit.
You have a choice here. Don't be an idealist.
Look, I don't know what he said to you or what he promised you, but
Alex, I can't go back now.
yes, you can. We can fix this.
No.
Like nothing he can give you will be worth it.
That's not true.
What then? Why are you doing this?
He said you'd ask that. Stay Mephistopheles and tell me what good will my soul do thy Lord. Faustus, it will enlarge his kingdom.
Hearst enters slowly through the upstage enclosure door, wearing the loose and bloody pelt of a freshly skinned Bengal tiger. His dark silhouette is fixed between the two women. Blackout. End of play. Gives yourselves a hand. Round of applause, everybody. Well done.
I think, here we go.
Good to go.
I think we're live now. Let me start by saying congratulations to all of you for working on this wonderful reading. You got so much done in such an incredibly short amount of time. So bravo to all of you for being able to tell a really complicated story with so much clarity. Before we get into some specific questions, I just want to kind of acknowledge all of you that were able to join us for the talkback part of the evening, starting first and foremost with our playwright, Eric Schabla. Eric, thank you so much for sharing this with us. We have most of our cast here, which is fantastic. Jennifer Vosters, our fabulous Harriet. I would like to be around you the next time you are high, should such a thing ever happen in real life, because that was a delight. Jonathan Wainwright, our Dr. Hearst. Thank you. Casem, and you don't have your cohort, your buddy in crime. DeMonte, he's got a baby at home. It's all right. We understand. Daniel, wonderful to have you back with us again. Our Hugo. Of course, Jack, welcome to Forward. Playing Topher so wonderfully. And Nadja, doing beautiful work as Alex in this play. Thank you all so much. I guess I want to start with, I'm sorry, the really generic kickoff question for any playwright, which is, what kind of spurred this piece of writing for you, Eric?
That's a great question. I just want to start by thanking everyone who watched. I know this is a difficult medium to engage with sometimes, and I just really appreciate you taking a minute in your life to check this out. So I, as cliche as it sounds, I actually had a dream that involved a man in a tiger skin. And it sat with me, and I thought about it and thought about the implications of it. The implications of it for our social moment, and the larger implications in terms of our relationship with nature. And then my brother, who is a scientist, showed me a couple of articles about taxonomic revision. And that really sent my brain off. And I just started writing, and I've spent a lot of time in kind of complex institutions with a lot of young people. And so that's part of also what feeds this, is the diversity of opinion within an institution, and the friction and the comedy and the love, and I think that's about it. And of course, we live in a time where we're really, really preoccupied with different modes of categorization and identity.
Yeah, that's the part I know when we first read this play. I first read it, I think, in February, which feels like a completely different lifetime ago. It might as well have been a different lifetime. And I remember talking with you and congratulating you that we'd chosen your play for Wisconsin Wrights, like 2 days before everybody,
it was really hot on the heels,
stopped everything. But that was certainly what drew me in, and just the combination of a very funny play with really well-rounded characters, but this big idea about classification and what are the benefits and the detriments to us as a species, of that. And that really, I love a play that tickles my brain, and this one definitely does that. Well, so if any of you in the cast, all of you have to answer this, but what was this process like for you? Sort of trying to figure out a really complex play with lots of characters, lots of moving pieces in this really short amount of time.
Weird
works.
Well, this whole thing, the medium of trying to figure out where to look and try to focus that energy, and then being sort of distracted as I was talking to Eric about, oh my God, is my lighting okay? Like suddenly we're producer, tech, everything on one end. And so then to try and find that little thing of like, and I think in that scene with Nadja and I, Like, I don't know how it came off, you know, in the second act, but that's where I finally started to feel like I'm acting.
Right.
And it was like, well, if my lighting is what, I don't know, but I just know that I am connecting with this person as best that I can. And I think the fact that it was a one-on-one scene was helpful in that regard of being finally able to settle into something like that that felt kind of normal, like scene work, right?
Yeah. Nadja, I see you nodding.
Yeah, I just completely agree. And it's not a lot of time, right? So it's not a lot of time to really dig into like the backgrounds of the characters and the specifics about what technically like everything is. So we kind of had to come together as a team to think about, okay, well, what do we need to know for this reading, and how can we pull it together to really like support one another in this reading? And then if we have a chance to do this again, then all of that extra work will come later, you know? And so that was a mindset that I definitely had to wrap my mind around.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I know we've got a bunch of folks that are watching the Talkback Live on Zoom. And so I want to encourage everyone, if you've got questions about the play for the playwright or for the actors involved, or comments about it, please do send that our way. I mean, one of the key things that we usually can get out of Wisconsin Wrights is the opportunity to have these wonderful actors do this reading in front of a live audience. And then the poor playwright usually hangs out in the very back, you know, stressed out and wondering, what's going to happen. But then you learn so much by watching the audience. You know, are they breathing with you? Are they laughing? Are they gasping? Are they so silent you can hear a pin drop? And you learn so much about your play. And of course, in this format, we do not get that.
Yeah, that's a great point. I really tried to build this play to take you on left turns a lot in terms of tone and feeling. And my hope was always to leave people with a little bit of a sense of confusion, and not necessarily in a cognitive or a narrative sense, but in an emotional sense. Because so just the genre mixing of like getting you to laugh and then getting you to take a minute to realize why you laughed, and where, like, finding your own boundary with humor too. What do you think is funny and what isn't? What is no longer funny? What's violent?
Right.
That's part of what I'm trying to do here too.
Yeah, and how did the play evolve over the time you've been working on it in terms of that balance of the humor? Because there's some very funny scenes in this play, but there's some incredibly tense and dramatic scenes as well. And did you find that the overall balance shifted as you were working on it?
I think it did. I think I learned a lot after the first draft about like it's so easy to write jokes for the sake of writing jokes. It's really fun. And it's really satisfying. It's facile. It's really easy to do. But what's better is if you can be more economical and tell a joke that comes loaded with some deeper truth, right? And maybe that truth is sort of sobering and sobers you from the humor, or maybe it heightens the humor, like with some of the Harriet stuff, until you realize that, you know, this is her layers being peeled away, and this is maybe who she actually is, right, on some level. So I think it's just about I think it did change. We did a one reading of this before Wisconsin Wrights, and it was really instructive in like, okay, when am I the playwright being self-indulgent and just loving the comedy, as opposed to like, let's move the story forward, you know, let's let's balance the humor with some gravity. So I think since the first draft, quite a bit.
I muted myself. I've tried to break myself of that habit. Now it's officially a Zoom conversation because I have tried to talk while I was muted. Whoever had that on their bingo card. There's a couple of questions coming up, but I just wanted to share with all of you, because I think this comment is so wonderful, from Leslie Littrell. It says, a play that starts with your pronouns and ends with the great white hunter is so appropriate for these times. And I thought that was a really lovely comment. Thank you, Leslie. And so here's a question, another one for you, Eric, from Eric Godfrey saying, I've seen you act at APT, and what is the difference for you between watching the play as an actor versus watching it as a playwright?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, I try to write for actors in the sense that I know what I like to, the words that I like to see on a page. And usually what that entails is room and agency for me to make my own choices. So I try to really try. I don't always succeed. And I don't know that I have in this one. I mean, of course, the cast can speak to this more, but I really try to provide some space for the actor to make choices about who this character is, specifically in backstory. Like with Shae and Alex, like I really tried to not spoon feed anybody stuff about their background so that we don't make assumptions, right? Like that's part of what this play is trying to do too, is strip you of your assumptions. Yeah, and I also I try to write language that's fun to speak too, because that's what I like as an actor. I know that you just like, there's got to be some amount of joy in it, like, or it becomes sort of a chore to work on. So I don't know. It's watching it as an actor is really fun. Watching it as a playwright is a little more daunting, I think.
I think that sounds pretty astute. And I'll throw to the audience, if you don't specifically have a question, but if you want to share some thoughts, if there was a particular scene or relationship between characters that really resonated with you, throw that up in the comments. I think that would be a really interesting thing to know. Or if there was something that really, you would think of as your main takeaway. I would love to know that as well. What about Casem? Tell me a little something about the fun. You and DeMonte really had to do something a little different for this reading.
We did.
Tell me about that process in rehearsals.
So this is something that is physical comedy on Zoom is not something that I would think is easy to do. But the thing is, I've had the pleasure of working with DeMonte before, and so I just played off of him when we were first reading it through, and it was we're just going back and forth. And like Jonathan was saying, it is not an easy format to have human connection. So having had prior work with DeMonte was helpful there, I think, for me, especially since it's a nonverbal scene, right?
Yeah.
And it's happening in the background. So just playing with that was something that we managed to surprise Jake, our director, with. We just started playing around. He was like, okay, keep it.
Yeah, it's been so fascinating watching the evolution of how theater artists are using this platform. And there's a bunch of other very similar platforms. And we're really in early days still of figuring out how we can use this technology to get as close as possible to the way we want to tell stories. And it is never, ever, ever going to replace it. It will never meet the ideal it's aspiring to, but we can't be together. We can't be together safely right now. And so I think that that's going to be the case for, at best months more. And I'm really enjoying, as much as one can enjoy all the frustrations of our field at the moment, I'm enjoying seeing how all of you're learning right in front of us, right? You are learning this in front of us. And every, time I see someone doing their second Zoom reading, things have been learned. And by their third, more things have been learned. And you know, we're all obviously, you know, waiting anxiously for the day we can just go back to being together in space with each other as artists and with our audience. But while we can't, it really is wonderful to see how quickly all of you are making the most of these circumstances. It's really dynamic to watch. I'm seeing a couple more comments that are coming up. Mike Fisher says, this play constantly turns on and eats itself. That's so hard to do, and it's so necessary right now. It induces actual conversation by deconstructing categories and also making us crave them. Scary. Like that, Mike, no surprise whatsoever. Yes, and you know, for everybody working at home, and Eric, you know, with the inter-office dynamic, you know, working home for months, you know, the workplace and coworker aspects are really striking people. You know, do you want to talk a little bit about sort of workplace drama that you've created here?
Yeah, yeah, workplaces are so interesting, right? The evolution of them and how codes of conduct become codified, and certain things are no longer acceptable, and some things are now mandated, and I'm not passing judgment on any of that. I'm just saying that there's an interesting connection to be drawn between that and human progress and human evolution and the evolution of consciousness. And I don't know, it's, you know, it's such a crazy thing, these institutions where people are a really disparate group of people are brought together under a leader, and then there are assumptions. This is starting to get into the Foucault territory that's in the play a little bit. There's an assumed, like, part of what I think postmodernism is attacking is the assumed neutrality of the institution, right? So we have this idea, like, we walk into a zoo, for instance, and we see everything is arranged in a particular way, and we assume that it's neutral, but maybe it's not, right? Like, maybe it's been curated in such a way that's meant to tell us something about ourselves, or to reinforce an idea. And I'm also not saying that that's necessarily an unimpeachable truth, but I think that's an interesting consideration. So workplace dynamics are really interesting. I don't know. I mean, that's something you guys probably could talk about more eloquently as the cast, because you guys were working on this thing together.
Yeah, and actually we've had a couple of questions from folks interested in hearing from Jack and Daniel about, you know, this really lovely relationship arc over the course of the play and what it was like working on that, again, with such a quick time frame. Daniel, I'm going to throw you on the spot first.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Like others said, the process was so quick, and it was almost every minute, not as an exaggeration, but almost every minute, to see everyone trying something new, taking a step forward, and between characters too, like that you had to just take such big leaps forward I mean, we were only going to get as far as we could in such a short process, but not having the luxury of time, having to move a little bit quicker or take bigger leaps, and to explore that through the lines, because we also don't have time to stop and talk about it that much. So over a screen with just the lines, to try to throw something at the other person just through the line, and then to see something different come back and to play that way, was tricky, but things evolved. And in terms of the two characters, I mean, I'm sure everyone would love to keep going with this, because we could continue to unpack it. You know, they've been coworkers for 5 years. How did that start? What are the things they've hashed out in those sketchy hallways with the terrible lighting? And there's a line where Hugo, he says, this isn't you, right before they kiss. He says, this isn't you. And then he almost corrects himself and he says, this isn't me. And I had a long conversation with Jake, our director, about, is Hugo, is that at face value, is that true? Is that really not him? Or is he covering for something? Is it something Hugo explored when he was in prison, or before, or after? How fluid is he? Again, going back to these categories and this play, kind of throwing them out the window, but then also making you crave them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rambling.
No.
Jack, go for it, Jack.
That's great. Yeah, Jack, jump in.
All right. Am I not on mute?
We can hear you.
Great, I'm winning. I think that one of the things that's actually kind of great about this process, is that it's kind of like TV. You just get thrown out there and you have the script, and sometimes you don't even have the script, and nobody talks to you about the script that much because because they don't have time. They're trying to figure out where the camera goes. So everyone in this cast is ready to do TV now. Great. That's one of the weirdest things is that there's establishing a relationship just through a screen, because I've never met Daniel before and Daniel has never met me. Like, all of our acquaintance is built within the relationship that's taking place in the play. So that's very odd. Luckily, there's a pretty clear arc to it. It begins as a kind of bro-y, I'd call it bro-y friendship. There's this game that they play while they're working. And then part of it is Topher is dealing with these feelings that are just confusing him. And it was lucky for me that a lot of what Topher is dealing with is confusion, because that, like, play with the format. You don't know what's going on. Topher doesn't know what's going on. Great, can do that. What was I saying? Speaking of being confused, back to it. And then
the arc. There's a clear arc to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it is like there's this thing that comes up because of all these circumstances that are going on that they have to deal with. And then I think the last scene is very interesting because they make this attempt to deal with it, to like try to come together in a new way. And then at the end, we don't really know what happens to them. We have this stage direction for a kiss. I saw someone in the comments being like, that was not a very successful Zoom kiss. So I think it's hilarious. What could we do? I don't know. But we don't know what happens to them at the end. It could go to a new stage, or it could just end there. So it kind of puts it into the audience's imagination what can happen in that relationship.
Yeah.
It's also in your imagination forever.
I will also just say there's so much nuance available. I mean, you guys played that so well because there's so much nuance available, you know, as you say, Jack, like what's going to happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that Hugo exits,
Mm-hmm.
like just that alone gives us clues or just makes it less clear, you know? So like there's so much, it's such a delicate, I really tried to write that like a scene in Chekhov where
Mm-hmm.
like in Three Sisters, where what's his name leaves Masha and it destroys her, but like you don't.
The hot one. I only think of him as the hot one who leaves Masha. Sorry, I'm back on me.
Yeah, exactly, right. But yeah, so it's like it's such a delicate. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a question from Stephen, looping back to your comment earlier, Jonathan, talking about how you the one-on-one scene and how when you started getting closer to the camera, it felt like the scene got more intense. And how much are you as actors able to factor in that kind of framing in this weird Zoom world that we're in now? I imagine that's on the learning curve, right?
Yeah, well, for me, it really is. I mean, like, literally, last 2 weeks or whatever, I was trying to do Zoom things on the computer, and I couldn't because we have a 720p camera, and it just looked god awful. So we get a new camera on Amazon, right? And I stick it on here and put it in, and then time to go. So You know, it's like just trying to figure out, well, where does the computer need to, where does the screen need to be? How do I do this?
Yeah.
And like the fact that it's a reading, and so, okay, I'm wearing glasses, but if I'm not wearing glasses, now people can really see into my eyes and see what I'm thinking, but everything in front of me is a blur. So it's this weird thing of trying to connect. And so what eventually happened, at least in hopes, with the scene with Nadja in the second act, was that I was finally able to just I'm going to look in this little dot right here, and that's Nadja, and I'm not going to worry about anything else because I can hear her and I know what she looks like, and I'm going to just take in her voice and just try and react off of that, because as soon as I look away and try to look at her on my screen, well, then I'm suddenly gone. I'm suddenly not in the scene anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really weird thing.
Yeah.
Nadja, what, you know?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's hard because, like, we're not memorized, you know, and so we're trying to look at the script and get all the words and also connect with your other person when they're not, you know, really there. It's hard, but it's almost like doing a video audition, I guess. If you audition for something through video, you're always looking like past the I don't know, the camera. And
Right.
so this is one of those things where you have it's just like a mind trick almost for me.
Mhm.
Thinking like, okay, well, they're right there, but I also need to look slightly down to see the words and then look back up. It's it's complicated, but I think we all did pretty well.
Yeah. Celia, our own Celia, had a question. You know, we talked about how frustrating it is that on Zoom, you can't make eye contact with somebody. And that's such a huge part of what we do as humans, let alone as actors on stage. And she's wondering whether the more we're separated, are we going to learn to react through our listening much more than through what we're seeing as we evolve through this strange little interlude we're in. But I could see, I mean, that you teed that up perfectly, Jonathan, because that's exactly what you're describing, is when you got to a point where you could just listen and focus.
Yeah, and I think it had a lot to do with the fact that it was a two-person scene.
Sure.
And I need to get better about that in a 3 or 4 or 5 person scene. So what's the best way to do it? Am I taking in a room like this? Or am I, you know, you assume that the person who's speaking, okay, now I need to address right here.
Right.
To them. So it's just that weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this has been an amazing conversation, and you know, our wonderful audience has been with us for a while, so we'll wind it down. I do want to share sort of, because this feels like a perfect capper to the conversation. We have a comment from Andrew saying, I feel like this play tackled some very intellectual subject matter without feeling academic. Like, really fascinating debates are followed by acid trips and poop flinging. I enjoyed this a lot. I think that goes on the poster, right? You know, that's your marketing, acid trips and poop flinging and some intellectual debates. Thank you all. Thanks to all of you here on my screen for the really hard work that you all put in to create some art and to tell a story and support the development of a new play. Thank you for that. Thank you, Eric, for entrusting us with your, you know, beautiful piece of writing. And I hope that in even these strange circumstances that this has been useful to you, because that's kind of the point of Wisconsin Wrights. And I really want to thank everyone who tuned in to listen and to listen to the talkback and share your feedback. We so appreciate all of you. This is night 2 of 3. I hope you'll come back. We have one more play tomorrow night. Join us for that one. Like these other 2, completely different and unique. And thanks,